Now, before we get into the Ironheart main event, I need to do a little bit of house cleaning because a couple of days ago we did a video about the big James Gunn interview with Rolling Stone and all the cringy stuff that he said there. And there was also some rumors about a canceled DC project that was previously announced that, they just turfed because they didn't like the script, or they didn't like the direction that it was going. And, from previous accounts and some previous interviews and some scuttle from behind the scenes, I kind of thought that it was going to be the Clayface movie, okay? Because we heard that the only reason that James Gunn liked it is because Mike Flanagan came forward with the script and he said, yeah, everything's going to be great. I really love the script. It's going to be great. And yeah, go forward with that. And then we started to hear some reports that, the script is kind of in shambles and James and, a couple of people are having to rework all of it from the ground up. So I thought that, okay, cool. It's probably not worth your time. So you're just moving on to other projects. But then it really hit me, okay, alongside the announcement that, a couple hours later that, what's his name? Tom Reese Harries. Never heard of this guy before in my life, and that's kind of the prevailing sentiment that is going across social media. Congratulations to the DCU once again to scoop up a bunch of actors that nobody has heard about before in their entire life. He could be great for the role, but who in the blue hell at this point in time wants a Clayface movie before we even know what the hell is going on with the Batman proper? Makes a lot of sense, right? But that's James Gunn's DC in a nutshell. But yes, I really did underestimate James Gunn's ego in regards to this, because for as much as we heard, okay, at least I heard, and I'm pretty sure I brought it forward in a video, but yes, that we heard that the script was in shambles, Mike Flanagan didn't deliver the way that James really wanted him to. I downplayed the amount of hubris that James Gunn has, because if he was going to be rewriting that script, I mean, of course he was never going to tank that project. Of course he was never going to knock it off. So what do I think ends up getting replaced? I really don't know, because at this point in time, we've had so many announced projects that are out there that have either been silently or publicly canceled. I don't even know what number's the greater at this point in time. The number of announced projects or the number of canceled projects. All we know is that Supergirl, formerly titled Supergirl World of Tomorrow, is going to be coming out next. We just have to see if Superman can go ahead and get across the finish line. Moving on to the Marvel side of life, because we know, yes, Superman is going to be the next thing up for the DCU, but the next thing up for Marvel is Ironheart, okay? And we heard this for a while. I think that was even a part of the first round of trailers, right, for Ironheart, that, you were going to be getting a 3-episode premiere. And everybody thought after that, like episodes 4, 5, and 6, they would come out weekly. But nope, they're kind of doing a bifurcated Echo approach, okay, where they couldn't quite dump it all, okay? They couldn't just, the end of June, right before the real busy season when it comes to entertainment of July, just get rid of the stuff and hopefully nobody will notice, which really does, especially with these 2-3 episode dumps. It really does seem like they had some not cultural, this is what this is all going to be about for a multitude of reasons, but no, they had some contractual obligations where, number one, they couldn't just turf this, and there was probably far too many contingencies. There was too much litigation that could have been in place, so they just thought, screw it, okay, we'll just go ahead and dump it on the streaming service. But there was probably something in a bunch of those contracts as well that it couldn't just simply be dumped a la Echo. No, this had to have a weekly release schedule, so they thought, can we just soften the blow over 2 weeks? Yeah, I think we could probably get away with that. That would fulfill the weekly release schedule obligation. So yes, we're getting on June 24th, episodes 1 through 3, and on July 1st, we're going to be getting episodes 4 through 6. So yeah, I'm just going to wonder, right? Because for as much as they're going to say, no, this was the plan the entire time. You see, we had such great success with Andor when it came to releasing 3 episodes at a time. So of course, this is going to work for Ironheart. I'm just wondering that, by the end of episode 3, are they going to be telling a coherent story? Is it really going to end at a second act low point where you get your proper storytelling, that it makes sense that you would have that 3-episode break, that you would release 3 episodes, half the season at a time? Or is this just going to really look like, oh, okay, cool, you're just either smack dab in the middle of the same old Marvel slop for your D+ shows, where it's like, okay, cool, this is either right after the first or second bottle episode, after all the big events kick off in the first episode. Episode 2 might have something to it, but then yes, episodes 3 and 4, and then at the tail end of 5, okay. But for the lion's share of 5, you get a whole bunch of nothing. It's a whole bunch of middling nonsense. Like, hell, he even had that with the longer season of Daredevil Born Again, Or he just stupidly had that bottle bank heist episode. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You have a minuscule amount of time and you waste it like that. Probably the chief example of wasted time in a limited series was She-Hulk. You had the wedding episode, you had the multiple dating episodes. Jesus Christ, you had Abomination's retreat. Like that entire show was a big waste of time. But the way that they spent the 6 or 8 episodes, so that was another shorter season, which is so wild. These things cost so much, but yet you get so little on return. Just how they spend their time. Not one of these series has actually used the medium of of television to tell a long form story. HBO can do it. Taylor Sheridan over at Paramount Plus can do it, but Disney, they just can't wrap their head around this, okay? Because every single one of those TV shows doesn't really have an overarching story that they're trying to tell. They just set some stuff up. They introduce their character in the first episode, and then in the halfway through the penultimate episode, and with the finale, that's when they actually get back to the plot. The rest of it is just a bunch of wandering around and middling nonsense. So we'll see. We'll see if they have this big plan or not, okay? Because so far, the way that they've been promoting this, like we've talked about this time and time again, hasn't been that well received. Really has not, because again, the Ironheart promo backfires for a Disney Marvel as fans spot copy-paste bots promoting Disney Plus series. Because what was it? Recently, we just talked about how the trailers have been getting ratioed, and it's like, it totally makes sense. Watching those, they're really bad. Okay, this is definitely going to be the Acolyte for Marvel. Just don't really know if it's going to hit the same zeitgeist level. And especially given its release schedule, like people just meme on it for the intermediary week between releases. But by July 4th, Independence Day, Jurassic World Rebirth release date, everybody's going to forget about Ironheart. So perhaps that's exactly what Disney wants, maybe. But Ironheart, yes, hasn't even premiered yet, but it looks like Disney is already pulling out every trick in the book, including what appears to be an artificial X-Bot promotion campaign that's raising more eyebrows than excitement. Last month, X was flooded with eerily similar tweets from accounts promoting the June 24th premiere of Ironheart on Disney Plus, and we do mean eerily similar. I mean, you just take a look right there. Yeah, binge-worthy June awaits on Disney Plus. Yo, that reads like corporate spin, okay? From Marvel's Ironheart to David Attenborough and The Return of the Bear, it's time to renew. Sure it is. And then linking out to tomsguide.com, okay? Discover thrilling new adventures with Disney Plus in June 2025. Yeah, oh my God. And then the rest of them is like, yeah, 3 of them got the exact same picture, and it's all, oh yeah, and the profile pictures. Okay, the only one that's a little bit different, but yeah, that's a Bitcoin account, so you already know that that's very likely a bot. But yeah, Egon, Daisy, and Nate, those all look like AI generated profile pictures. So yeah, totally makes sense right there. That's all exciting news. Get ready, Disney Plus fans or Marvel fans. It's the same energy as hello, fellow kids. Are you excited about next Marvel project? No. Even more suspicious is the near identical language structure, yes, recycled hashtags, and nearly simultaneously posting, yes, between May 23rd and May 30th. Yeah, because you buy the week-long bot campaign, and it'll go ahead and get you some traction. It'll get you a little bit of enthusiasm, but by the time that all wears off, and the only people that are around are just left to laugh at it, then you got the reality of having a hot, stinking turd on your hands. But instead of, putting some money towards proper marketing, putting out a good trailer, a compelling trailer, because I'm sure that there's something you could edit together or piece together to make this look like an enticing proposition. No, you're just going to buy bot farms and then get Robert Downey Jr. to send in a cringe promo that he definitely didn't read the liner notes of, that were put on post-it notes right above the camera, because this was fairly pathetic. Robert Downey Jr. passes the Ironman torch. No. Hey, didn't you hear Ryan Coogler, okay, in that behind-the-scenes trailer before the trailer came out, that he said, no, Ironheart isn't here to supplant the mantle of Iron Man, okay? She's a different character. She's a very unique character. Iron Man has been around for decades, and Ironheart has had a couple of canceled runs when they were still in single-digit issues, okay? This is not an attempt, okay? This is not an attempt to supplant the guy that is just coming back in an attempt to save the MCU. No, not the case at all. But according to Kotaku, yes, Iron Man passes the torch to Dominique Thorne in a touching video. Yes, so touching, like a drunk uncle at a family reunion. The torch has officially been passed. During a recent Good Morning America interview, Ironheart stars Dominique Thorne and Anthony Ramos were surprised with a video from Robert Downey Jr. In the clip. The OG Iron Man shares his support and jokes about the similarity between Ramos's Parker Robbins character and Downey Jr.'s much anticipated Doctor Doom portrayal. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I just watched the clip prior to doing this video and I had no idea. He was just saying, like, RDJ was just saying a bunch of proper nouns, and I was lost, totally lost, man. As somebody who follows this stuff reasonably closely, like, these names meant nothing to me at all whatsoever. But yeah, the byline for Kotaku, once again, you know, it just is accurate as a sundial, as sure as grass is green and the sky is blue. They just nail it once again. Sorry, haters. The upcoming Disney Plus series has the only stamp of approval that matters. Keep that in mind when we run this back in about a month's time, when we start to get the ratings and realize that nobody watched this shit, and then they come out with these sexist, racist, bigot fans, you know, caused Ironheart to be an abomination in the ratings. Just keep that in mind, because Robert Downey Jr. got paid to not even call into Good Morning America, but to read a couple of names that he has never heard before in his entire life and press record in his trailer in between takes for Doomsday. Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, here's the clip, and it's pretty cringe.
Do you mind if we interrupt the interview for just a moment? Because I think we have a very special message. I think you're going to recognize who this is.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, yeah, Good Morning America on ABC. Nobody hears about that. Also owned by Disney, so it's so funny just how incestuous this entire relationship is.
Good Morning America. The new studio. God, looks great. Miss Thorne, I couldn't be happier than to be seeing you bring Riri Williams to life.
Just look at his eyes, man. Like, he's totally reading something right above, because my camera, okay, like, I'm just pointing directly at it, okay? So sometimes when I'm reading stuff on my screen, which is below my camera, like, you can tell when I'm just reading back and forth. But just the way that Robert Downey Jr. even delivers this, like, he's a very good actor. Not going to take that away from him at all whatsoever. Perfect casting for Tony Stark, blah, 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 you know, all that crap. I'm not trying to diminish him at all whatsoever. It's just, there is no life behind this delivery. This is the first time that he is seeing these notes, and it's like, I got to do what exactly? Oh, okay, cool, fantastic. Just listen to that, and if you can, watch his eyes with just the sheer not give a fuckedness that he has with this.
But the hood has me nervous. Is the hood green? Please tell me Mr. Ramos is not replacing me as Dr. Doom via Parker Robbins. Is there something you're not telling me? Anyway, I don't want to step on your interview. Long story short, Iron Man loves Ironheart.
I don't want this guy, whose name I already forget, I don't want him to step on my portrayal as Doctor Doom, but Iron Man loves Ironheart. Interesting. Just how fucking slapdash all of this shit was, but that's the endorsement that we need, huh? That's how we're really going to stick it to the chuds, because Robert Downey Jr. gives her a seal of approval to back up all of those claims that definitely, you know, they met Dominique Thorne and RDJ. They met in a hallway, and he gave her a double thumbs up and says that he really believes in this project so much that he couldn't get down to the studio and do it in person. And that's why this is, yeah, the only stamp of approval that matters. And that's why there's no plans for a season 2. Ironheart star reveals there are no season 2 plans as backlash mounts ahead of premiere. Yeah, it's funny how all that shit tends to shake out, huh? Ironheart hasn't even premiered on Disney Plus yet, but questions are already swirling about the show's future. According to star Dominique Thorne, Ironheart season 2 has now been greenlit, and it won't be, and it remains unclear whether the series will continue at all. But no, guys, don't worry about it. She's gonna be in an Avengers movie, sure. In a recent exclusive interview with the Direct, Thorne was asked if there had been any official discussion about a second season. Her reply was simply, no, not yet. Oh wow, that's got a lot of Russell T Davies energy. It's like, oh no, yeah, Doctor Who's definitely going to be continuing into a third season. I got a lot of plans out there. Nothing's been greenlit yet. It's like, that's the way the studios go. It's not until you get everything that you've already shot released. It's like, nobody ever does that. So come on, that's not the way things work, right? Thorne went on to say that she'd like to see her character, Riri Williams, explore the full range of other options presented to her in season 1. Yeah, I bet you're the only one. Oh no, right, Robert Downey Jr. If the check clears, he'll also endorse that, but avoided specifics to prevent spoilers. She added that the show broadens Riri's perspective, opening the door to unexpected choices and teasing possible future directions for the character within the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe. And yeah, we are not but a few days away. Next Tuesday, we're going to be getting the first half of this abomination. We're going to see how bad it really is, because insiders at Marvel claim that it is the worst thing that Marvel has ever done. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons to believe that this could end up being the Acolyte for Marvel, okay, by introducing drag queens and just being, well, centered around a character that is just, ripe with DEI nonsense in the source material. It could be really bad. Or it could just be something that is just so banal, such a 2 or a 3. There's nothing really enjoyable. There's nothing really memeable. There is nothing to really talk about in regards to this series. That's, I bet, what Disney is hoping for at this point in time, and that they can just simply weather this storm and get over to that colossal win that's in the wings with Fantastic Four, right? Sure thing. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.